Happy finally Friday. The Mariners are in San Francisco to begin a weekend series with the Giants. Today's game got underway earlier as Luis Castillo, the rookie, not that Luis Castillo, makes his debut for Seattle against the crafty veteran Justin Verlander. As a result of this decision, Bryce Miller and Brian Wu have been moved back a day, so Miller will go tomorrow at 6:05. Wu will start Sunday's game at 1:05 in the afternoon. Seattle heads to the Bay Area with a 3-4 record, good enough for third in the American League West. Behind Texas and Los Angeles, Houston moved into a tie with Seattle for third yesterday with a 5-2 win over Minnesota. While the Astros remain in the Twin Cities, the Athletics are at Coors Field. Kansas City is in Texas. Cleveland visits the Angels in Anaheim. Well, fresh off a 5-0 win in Vancouver, the Seattle Kraken heads south to California this weekend. Kraken will play at San Jose against the Sharks tomorrow night at SAP Center. The puck will drop at 7 o'clock on Kong TV. Now, following Saturday's game, Seattle will remain in Southern California to take on the Kings in LA. That'll be Monday night at 7:30. Well, while Haley Van Lith and her TCU Horned Frogs have been relegated to spectators, the NCAA Women's Final Four will be played out tonight. 3 of the 4 number 1 seeds made the Final Four, with number 1 Texas, who ousted TCU on Monday, is facing number 1 and defending national champion South Carolina. That's followed by number 2 UConn and number 1 UCLA at 6:30. Both games are being televised on ESPN. The men's Final Four will play out in San Antonio, Texas tomorrow. And for only the second time since the NCAA men's tournament expanded to 64 teams back in 1985, we have all 4 number 1 seeds making the Final Four. The only other time it happened was back in 2008. Florida faces Auburn tomorrow at 3:09 to be exactly on CBS. And that'll be followed by Houston and Duke at 5:39. Women's championship will be played Sunday at noon on ABC and ESPN. Men's title game is set for Monday at 5:50 on CBS. The Wenatchee Bighorns continue a 5-game road trip in Seattle this weekend. Bighorns will take on the Seattle Superhawks tomorrow at Royal Brom Pavilion. That's at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Wenatchee is on a 4-game winning streak and coming off a 122-98 win over Willamette Valley last Sunday on the road. Back home, meanwhile, Sandy Cooprider has taken over as managing partner with his son Sean, who owns the Bighorns. He is recovering from heart surgery. Wish the best of luck to Sean. NCW Life Channel will feature Big 9 boys soccer tonight on TV. The Wenatchee Panthers are hosting the Moses Lake Mavericks at Leibofto Field at the Apple Bowl. The Panthers are 4-0 on the season and 3-0 in Big 9 play. Moses Lake comes in with a 3-4 overall record, 2-1 in conference play. Mavericks have also won 3 of their past 4 contests. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen will have the call with our pregame getting underway at 6:45, both on TV and the stream. Besides Wenatchee and Moses Lake tonight, Eastmont is on the road at Davis to take on the Pirates. In CWAC play tomorrow, Ellensburg visits Quincy at noon, while Ephrata travels to Othello. Kashmir has a 1 o'clock match in Brewster. The Prep Girls Fast Pitch schedule today has Ephrata at Sela for a doubleheader. Quincy visits Ellensburg for 2 games. Moses Lake is hosting Eisenhower for 2. Wenatchee is hosting Sunnyside for 2 games at Triangle Park, and Eastmont is on the road for a doubleheader at Davis. Coming up tomorrow, Chelan plays a twin bill at Cle Elum starting at 11 a.m. Warden is hosting Lake Roosevelt. Eastmont is hosting Issaquah for 2 games beginning at noon. Liberty Christian is facing Lake Roosevelt at Warden tomorrow afternoon. That'll be at 1 o'clock. The lone baseball score from yesterday found Quincy beating Cascade 12-2. Wenatchee is in Sunnyside for a doubleheader today. Chelan is facing Royal at Yakima Valley, followed by a game against County Benton at 5:30. Eastmont's home today in the fourplex for 2 games against Davis. Moses Lake has a doubleheader at Eisenhower. Tomorrow's baseball schedule has Okanagan at Brewster at 11. Brewster will host Cle Elum afterwards at 1 o'clock. Lake Roosevelt has 2 games in Warden. The first is against Warden at 11, followed by a matchup with Colfax at 1. Liberty Bell is at Jenkins Tooele for a doubleheader. That begins tomorrow at noon. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a great weekend.